This episode was choreographed just beautifully. Episode 94, titled Factory Facade, is out, so make sure to read that chapter before continuing this episode. Now, let's begin. So we're at the factory, at that rusty old glass factory that we saw way back when. The one that Elvira Lloyd is the one in charge. The date of this factory, or when it was established, was XX75. I don't know if that year is actually something important, because usually the events that we've seen that refer into years happened between 15 and 10 years ago, so this is way more, like almost 50 years ago, so maybe not. That just shows how long this company has been around. Also, the beginning of this chapter actually shows radio towers. Obviously, we've seen Lauren use this kind of technology in the Camellia, but here we see just how commonplace it is to be used in the police department. I guess it continues to show. I mean, they even have the old radio system for listening in and changing the channel, so that's kind of cool. Now, I don't know what else was the purpose of setting this up this episode, other than that high winds, there's a storm coming, something is brewing. And the back and forth is funny, we haven't seen this kind of jovial back and forth between Lauren and Kieran while they go on their little adventures in a while, so it's nice to see this back. This episode in general just gave me very, very I want to see this animated, fully, this entire sequence, because especially I think my favorite part was them climbing down the chute, the elevator shaft by hand, and how we had the close-up panels kind of showing each step of them climbing down. That was beautiful, just amazingly done. And the fact that there's so many mirrors just everywhere, because this is a glass factory, there's mirrors just placed around everywhere. And it's really cool to see how Sophism and F have used that to play with our expectations. And not even our expectations, but the expectations of these characters and these players that are in this factory, right? Because Lauren gets scared by her own reflection, and we see just shadows moving as Lune avoids the factory workers, which is really cool. I think another one of my favorite parts was the fact that Kieran saw a reflection of his monster self as he looked into the mirror. I hope that we would get something else, something similar with Lauren as well, but we didn't. That's okay. But that would have been really cool to see both of them. But yeah, this little stealth kind of espionage style episode is really nice. I had a lot of fun reading it. It got me pretty hyped. The mustache dude, I don't even know his name, but he's kind of dope. I like the little declaration that he made at the end, his grin and his smirk. I mean, the mustache kind of got some power, And then there really isn't that much that I want to talk about, other than this is just a fun chapter. But they find the realization, they're in this room, almost kind of similar to how the locked room was in the Camellia, but here it's filled with this nitroglycerin, while the Camellia one was filled with some paintings and some supplies stored. Here is much more dangerous, and we actually see the gravity of just how many bottles of nitroglycerin there are. And we know from the Camellia that only one is enough to just blow up a building. And we've seen a couple chapters ago what happens when someone accidentally trips and gets, it sets them on fire. So this danger is evident. This danger is scary. We see the direct connection to McTrevor and all the trails of little crumbs that we've been following throughout the story so far. It's led to this bottle and these bottles of nitroglycerin. So I have no idea what's going to happen, but I am excited to see how if they even get out of this factory without being spotted. I wonder. But yeah, this is a pretty quick one. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.